I wonder who wrote the book of love? Tell me, who wrote the book of love?
Welcome to Bucks on the Bookshelf with your host, Steve the Bookman Eisenstein. Steve the Bookman Eisenstein has been involved in buying, selling, and appraisals of rare books since 1968. This show has been designed with making money for the listeners in mind. More people know the value of coins, stamps, objects of art, and collectibles they do not own than the values of the books in their home library shelves. Now, here's Steve the Bookman Eisenstein.
Who wrote the book of love?
Lovers, we're going to do something very special today that I told you about in the show promo. We're going to be talking with John Seda and Captain Hook of WDBF Radio. John is an accomplished musician and lyricist. Captain Hook has been in the music business and radio, producing, directing all his life. They're two top talents in their field. Today we're going to hear, for the first time, world premiere music by John, produced by Captain Hook. I'm going to let you guys take over the conversation and give out the credits for the artwork and the drummers and the musicians involved. Ladies and gentlemen, we introduce you to my producer, Captain Hook, and our guest, John Seda. Captain Hook, the mic is yours.
All righty. Well, on the line with us now is one of my good and dear friends, John Seda. John, how are you, buddy?
How's everybody?
Hey,
Captain
John.
Hook, the man of the hour.
Captain Hook, yeah. That's because we got two Steves here. I'm one Steve, and then the host of the show is another Steve. So, but I've always gone by Captain Hook because of the music business. So anyway, long story short,
we have the double Steves in the house.
That's it.
I'm not allowed to use some of my other nicknames. Bookman will do here.
Well, anyway, John, it's a wonderful to get a chance for the first time to be able to broadcast these songs that you've come up with. And Steve, you got a question for John?
Yeah, John, and this is not just my question, but I'm sure somebody in the audience is thinking the same thing. A lot of book people like to write. Creative writing, lyrics is creative writing. So in the song process, I ask, and it's a complex question because it can be asked from both sides and in the middle. What comes first, the lyrics or the music? Does the music come first, and how do you find the music if the lyrics come first? And I'll just give you an example. Take Me Out to the Ball Game, okay, that song. Well, I came up with a goof set of lyrics. Take me out to the book fair, rare books, fine bindings, and paperbacks. But I'm plagiarizing the music. So how do you find music to be in cadence with the lyrics? What's that creative process like?
I think it has to do with what the lyrics are talking about. I mean, I write both ways because I do a lot of instrumental music. So sometimes I'll write the music, and sometimes I will, decide if I want to add lyrics to some music that I've written. And then sometimes I'm driving my car and I have my iPhone and I hit the voice recorder, and I just start speaking into it like conceptual stuff, like ideas. So it really, there's no, in my opinion, and I think that goes for pretty much any songwriter, I think it's what you're feeling at the moment. And like the other day, it was an interesting thing happened. I had some heavy metal guys recording here, and they were doing some really cool rock stuff. And he left my guitar tuned to drop D, right? So I was grabbing the guitar and I played 4 chords. And I go, wow, that really sounds cool. But I didn't realize that it was still in that tuning. And I started to write a song because I heard it and I liked what I heard, and it was an accident. And I had my wife videotape it. And then afterwards I go to grab another guitar and I go, this just doesn't sound the same. And then all of a sudden I remembered that he had done that. So with that being said, I don't think there's really a rule or whatever. It's whatever. Sometimes you hear things, or sometimes you feel things, right? Or it's a combination of the both. And I think so. That's why you can't really. That's not one of those questions that you can just answer easily. It really depends. And it, like when I wrote this Christmas song. It had something to do with my childhood and some experiences that I went through, and I wanted to convey it. And when I showed it to a publicist that's working with me, she said, "Wow, that's a very sad song, but it's beautiful." I go. And that's where I was at the moment, thinking about missing people in my life. I'm 63 right now, so I've lost some friends on the way, and people that I cared about, deeply. So I conveyed that in the lyrics, and when I wrote that song, let me see if I remember. I did the music first because I was writing it for Elena Romanova, which, she wanted me to do a Christmas song for her, but it didn't work out. She recorded this year because she was very busy and I was busy, and so I finished the music, and then one thing led to the other. So if you can, just by me explaining the things that went through to create the song, you can see that there's not really it's sometimes the lyrics come first because you could be walking. I walk 5 miles a day, and while I'm walking, I could be speaking out loud about something, and then I'll hit the recorder and I'll record it. But in reality, if I'm in the studio and I grab my guitar and I play something that I feel it's cool, then I hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
Oh, it does. It does. And I'm going to throw a tip out to you, but I'm sure you already do it. Do you keep a recording device or pen and paper by your bed?
I just keep the telephone. I mean, before.
I'm joking when I say that. Steve Allen, famous.
No, we live in the cell phone days, so it's a lot easier to capture it. But I've always I have pen and paper right in front of me right now. So
why don't we play some music?
Yeah, let's do. And John, go ahead and give us a little preview of what the first song is going to be.
Well, I think when I sent you the list of songs, and what I picked first was an instrumental called "Carol of the Bells."
That's it.
And that's by Mykola Levinsky. I think his name is. He's a Russian composer, and I've always liked the song because it was kind of like the rock song of Christmas. You know what I mean? Like very soundtracky. And I like stuff like that that's hard, so when I did this version, I did it, that's how I felt it, and we added percussion because I'm, from Puerto Rico, so we, gave a little flair, more cowbell if you know what I'm talking about.
And, can't you hear the groovy beat now, baby?
But it's a very powerful track, and it shows a side of me that sometimes I don't always let
let's go ahead and hear it. All right, here you go, John Seda. And
Premiere
Carol
edition.
of the Bells. There you go. How about that, John? Wow. That was awesome. And let me tell you something.
Yeah, the composer is called Mykola Leontovich.
Okay.
He's a Russian composer, and it was done in the early 1900s originally.
Right.
So, and on the drums and percussion, that's Luis Alicea. That's my partner in crime. Every time I put music together, he always puts down the drums, and we make a good team.
Very good. And I've been fortunate enough to spend a lot of time with John, and to see him perform live is something to see. So, John, I don't know if you're doing any more live gigs or anything, but boy, if anybody ever gets a chance to see you, they got to take it up on it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I just did a salsa gig not too long ago, and there's something coming up for the future. I'm not supposed to talk about it, but I said it already.
Yeah.
But it's but anyway, there's something coming up, and
well, we won't tell anybody.
Well, yeah, I know. I haven't said the name.
Only everybody listening out there.
But the interesting thing is, though, I met the percussionist that played with Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock because of that release, that Hendrix tribute that I did.
Right.
And we're going to record next month. Actually, this month. He's in New York right now, and he wants to take me up to New York to jam at the Bitter End and all these places. So he wants to introduce me to some people. This guy's like a big... It's kind of funny because when you watch the Woodstock video, you know, there's a story behind it, you know. But now he's a big, he's a promoter. He's a percussionist. He played with Spyro Gyra and all that stuff in the past. And so now he's still out there, believe it or not. 80 years old and still kicking it. Unbelievable.
Keep rocking.
And,
Keep rocking.
So we're going to be doing some stuff together. So that's going to be interesting. And Luis is going to be playing drums on that.
Normally we would take a commercial break at this time, but we have a few more songs to play. So I'm going to blow this time the commercial break, and we're just going to keep on going right till the end of the show.
Does that mean they're going to take my Lamborghini away, the sponsors?
No. No. All right,
let's hear something lyrical, John.
Yeah, well, here you go. John,
Okay,
I have a list
one.
that John sent me, and so I've got them in order here. John, go ahead and tell me which one you want me to pull up next.
Well, the next one that I sent you, and the reason why is because I wanted to leave the original one for a little bit later, is one that I did with collaborated with Luis on drums, and it was a song that was played on MTV, and it was cool because it was live, and George Thorogood did this version of Rock and Roll Christmas, right? And I just loved the whole setting, the way they did it, and so I always wanted to cover it, and basically that's what I, decided to do. And
okay,
so it's called Rock and Roll Christmas, and I really played some cool guitar on this. I'm really proud of it, and got tons of compliments. So I hope you like it.
All righty, Rock and Roll Christmas.
Ready to do the quick step.
Let's have a rock and roll Christmas just like we used to now. Yeah, rock and roll Christmas, and I'll meet you by the mistletoe. We'll rock around the tree, goes and a go, 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 go. I want a John Seda record and a picture of Elvis there. And a pair
Wow! Oh my God, John. You know, I used to be an entertainment director in hotels. I used to
That's
be
to make you dance, baby. That's what that's
capable of stop. I think 3 or 4 times in my life I stopped with my partner a dance floor or two. This is dance floor stopping music. This is whatever you want to do. Quick step, Lindy. I mean, you could do so many show-stopping dances to this song. I hope that, you know, I don't mean it in the wrong way in saying it's like a Christmas novelty song, but that's what it is. And man,
oh, that's, you know,
what dance potential in this music. Wow. And everything else about it was great too. I love it.
Well, just so you know, the other, all the songs you're going to hear except for one of them, I performed all the instruments, and then the drummer did all the, you know, the percussive stuff. So we, it's kind of I was free to do what I wanted to do, if you know what I'm talking about. And, and I've always liked that style of, it's kind of like, what do they call that, rockabilly, you know, kind of feel?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
You know, like the Stray Cats, that, you know, I've always loved that kind of stuff where, you know, you can't help but move, you know, you want to move. And so when I did these songs, there's a story, the reason why this year we're releasing 3 of them, Christmas songs. It was like, about 10 years ago, I did a Christmas song where I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and I said, you know, I grew up playing Christmas because, you know, my stepbrother and I, when we were like 13 years old, we would go out in Puerto Rico, do like parandas, and parandas are like serenading, you know, and you do Christmas songs, and but you do it in Spanish, obviously, and they thought that we were so cute that, you know, and we could play really good at that age. And so they would give us $100 each. So what happened was, years ago, and this is serious, in the 70s, you know, $100 was a lot of money.
Come on.
You know?
Especially for a kid, you know.
Well, we would stay up all night. We
Yeah.
would be up till 5 o'clock in the morning playing music, and it was funny because then I lost touch with my stepbrother because it was, you know, we got back together about a couple of years ago, and he says, you know what? If that would have been today, our parents would be in jail. You know, it was, but you know, nobody back then, there was no danger or anything like that. It was just, you know, I think it's kind of weird right now, stuff that happens. You got to be careful. You got to watch your back all the time. But it was a different time back then. Yep. And, you know,
had to watch your back for different reasons back then.
Yeah.
Well,
today it's for almost anything.
It's that time when I was a kid, it's made me who I am today, right? So then one day I decided it was actually Thanksgiving, a couple of days before Thanksgiving, and I was on the phone with my friend. I said, you know, I haven't done any Christmas songs. I don't know why. I just, all these years with the studio, I just never done it. So I decided to do it that same night at 3 o'clock in the morning. I went in this room like a crazy guy, and I put it out, and then I released it in a week. We did a video and everything, and it was crazy. I just, you know, called all my friends, and everybody came. We made a party up, and, you know, cooked food and all this stuff, and we did it. And so I sent it to Eugene, who was a friend of mine that we grew up together, and he was one of our big supporters. And then I get a letter back that the day that I was at 3 o'clock in the morning, he had a major stroke, and he went into a coma. And so they played him the music, and he woke up from the coma.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, because when I sent it to him, they said maybe we should play it for him, and then they did, and he woke up. And from that day on, I made a promise that every year I would, you know, do Christmas songs, you know, because I feel like we gotta, how do you say that? Spread the joy, put it that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
and
John,
it's not even about religion or anything like that. It's more about the thought of giving.
The
you know?
music.
Yep. In the interest of time, we got to keep pushing ahead here. I think we've got 2 more songs that we've got to play. We've got a little less than 10 minutes left in the show here, John.
Yeah.
So
okay, so you want me to tell you the next one real quick?
Yes,
so
sir.
Next one,
Yeah.
I'll do this as quick as possible. The next one is called On Christmas Day. And I have Luis Alicia on drums, Desmond Davidson on piano, who actually was very inspirational to me because I didn't really want to sing this song. I wanted somebody else to do it, but there's a sadness behind the song because it's like one of those things, you know, when Christmas comes around that you miss people that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
So this is what this song is about, is praying to see you on Christmas Day. So let me
Should
read it
I
like that.
sing
And
my own song?
So-
What a thought, John. Keep going.
Yeah.
well,
Now,
this is original. This is the first time I've written a Christmas song. So you're going to hear, out of all the things I've always covered, this is the first time I did an original one.
I'm looking at the ones you sent me, and I've got this one say Kaylin Campbell on it. Is that it? Because I don't have that one, the one you're referring to.
Oh no! Don't tell me that. Hold on. I sent this to you.
All right, I'll tell you.
I sent it to you. It's check your email. It's on Christmas Day. You have it there?
Stand by.
I got 2 emails from you with 2 different songs on each one with
Right.
the same email twice.
Yeah, it's the
one
same
that says
one.
On Christmas Day. That's one.
Okay. Well, let me. What we're going to do here is, I'm going to hit this one and see if this is it. Otherwise, this is what you
Take it away.
No, that's not it.
Yeah, that sounds like James Bond to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not it.
Oh,
That sounds like some music from
Like a
Creature
little
of the Black
Malaguin.
Lagoon.
don't. Yeah, I was going to say that didn't quite have the Christmas feel. to it.
Yeah. It's more mortuary.
All right, let me dig through here and we'll see if I can find something else. Here we go. I'm trying to look for my emails here at the same time running the station.
Yeah.
Only 2 things at once.
But I mean, because I put them in 2 different emails. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, the one that you got, Carol of the Bells, is the one that has on Christmas Day. So you probably.
Okay, I'll get it. Stand by.
All right.
Never fails you. Never
But
fails
in the
you.
meantime, for all the radio listeners, I really appreciate you tuning in to the station, and I hope you're enjoying the music while Steve is, going through the records.
Yeah.
Make sure that this year, because, with all this stuff with COVID, commit to showing love to your family. It's very important that everybody, let's be
I got it.
peaceful and
How can people reach you, John, if they have questions or thoughts or anything?
Yeah, my phone number is 813-340-6126. Best way to contact me is by text first because I don't pick up while I'm recording. So it's 813-340-6126. My website is risingsunstudios.com, risingsunstudios.com, or they can go to John, JOHN, JohnSeda.com.
Okay, here we
all
go.
Those pages tie into each other, so they'll find the studio. Either they go one way or the other.
On Christmas Day.
Take it away.
Walking all alone on a cold winter night, I'm praying for a miracle to have the best time of my life. I'm praying for you on Christmas so I can see you once again. I dream of dancing in the dark with you on Christmas Day. Christmas Day. Dream of you. Peace is all I need. when all I need is you standing by my side on a wonderful Christmas night. Oh, I'm praying for you on Christmas so I can be with you again. I dream of dancing in the dark with you on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day. On Christmas Day. I dream of you.
Very slow dancey. I like it. Ballady, warm. Captain Hook is putting up another cut. And my compliments to the musicians, the lyrists, and all of that. I definitely could see slow dancing to that.
Yep.
And it's got that, I actually felt a little beat of doo-wop in there.
Yep. John, we're running out of time, so we need to move on
Yeah.
to your feature,
Well-
your feature song.
The next song, which is the last song, is called Two Doves in a Tree, written by Lane. Her last word, she's Lane Melendi, and she came to me, and this is kind of a funny song, because this is what I call the Grinch song of Christmas,
Okay.
right? It's a
And
punk
we're
rock
going to be
version.
closing on a musical note, so
Yep.
after the song, we'll see you all next week.
That's right. We're going to take this all the way to the end. John, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Ladies and
Thank you,
gentlemen,
John.
Two Doves in a Tree.
Thank you so much for having me on.
You got it, buddy.
This gives us front seats to your Grammy, right?
I'm digging it already.